Hello, folks. Tonight on Foul Players Radio, we sat down with Weekends at Noon, a Baltimore band who's just played some killer shows with more of them coming up. They've released some great music with more on the way, too. I enjoyed getting to meet them and hear some of their stories, and I think you'll enjoy this episode as well. And you can find the link tree to all of their music and social media right below in the show notes of the episode. Thank you again for tuning in. You can find our main website www.foulplayersradio.com with all of our episodes back to day one, as well as our most recent 3 seasons and some best of episodes in video format at youtube.com/@foulplayersradio. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button to get our updates. Also, please support our guests in their endeavors. Buying books, CDs, t-shirts, and tickets to shows make for awesome experiences, as well as make great gifts, and they go a long way to helping keeping these folks going, and it's very much appreciated by the artists. We'll be back with Weekends at Noon right after these words. This is Michael Spedden, and welcome to Foul Players Radio, your one-stop shop for all of your pop culture needs. We feature interviews from musicians, actors, comics, dancers, authors, and much, much more. Up-and-coming artists and beloved favorites. We've got it all. People on stage, backstage, out front, and behind the scenes. Sit back and relax. Let's have some fun.
Hi, this is Will Sims, and you're listening to Foul Players Radio.
This is Carrie Zaruba, and you're listening to Foul Players Radio with Michael Spedden.
The Foul Players of Perryville, the Mid-Atlantic's premier murder mystery company, have upcoming shows on the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad, Fifth Company Brewing, Susky River Beverage Company, Madigan's Waterfront, Maryland Party Boat, and more. If you are interested in seeing a show, our website is www.foulplayersofperryville.com, and if you are interested in booking us, please reach out to us at foulplayersperryville@yahoo.com or 443-600-0446. Remember, every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. and Sunday at 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the replay is The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. We feature blasts from the past, songs you forgot you liked, hidden gems, classics that never die, local and national act interviews, and music from up-and-coming and beloved classic bands. Go to www.97underground.com and download the free app today and listen to us wherever you go, anytime, anywhere. Also, see our archive of interviews on YouTube at 97 Underground Michael Spedden. We thank you for watching and listening to Foul Players Radio. Our main website is www.foulplayersradio.com, and our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@foulplayersradio. Remember, please support our guests in their endeavors. Shop small and buy local. Links to their books, albums, tickets to their shows, and much, much more can be found in the show notes of each episode. Enjoy today's show. And welcome back to Season 11 of Foul Players Radio. Michael Spedden here, and tonight we have a special guest, the Baltimore band, Weekends at Noon. And today we have with us, we have Colin, and we have Dustin, and we have Jimmy. Dustin is their manager, Jimmy the drummer. Great to have you all, guys. It's good to see you today. So how are things going? It sounds like you've had lots of good news lately.
Yeah, things have been going swimmingly. We've just been having a grand old time.
Swimmingly. There you
over here
go.
in Baltimore.
Uh-huh. Hopefully it's not swimmingly in the harbor. I heard they're going to build a swim up bar at that place where they were swimming in the harbor. You can swim up and order shots, your hepatitis shot or your tetanus shot. Or
Fentanyl shots.
yeah, I know. There must have been something really bad going on for them to use that to distract people from it. That's all I gotta say, Oh my, what a mess! The mess we live in. So, I know that you had mentioned earlier. We were talking a little bit earlier. You've had some great shows recently. You just performed at the Carroll County Fair for a good crowd out there, huh? How was that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a different crowd than we usually
Mm-hmm.
play for. It was a
Yep.
lot of it was just a different vibe than a
Sure.
lot of the places that we usually play, and it was that made it pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, good, good, good. And so you played at the fair, and those are always fun. Those are always. I've
Yeah.
done the Maryland State Fair myself, and
Mhm.
those are always fun shows. And how about, I know that you'd also done um yeah, big event, Skull House Rock at Ram's Head in Baltimore City. So how did that go? Tell me about that show.
Man, do we love Skullhouse Rock?
All right, so our manager Dustin here set up this whole event. This was his thing. He wanted to do it. He did it. Got all these bands together, local, out of state, and brought all of us together. Brought a bunch of tattoo shops together. It was a whole insane thing. It was music, it was tattoos. Obviously, there was beer. Everyone loves beer, and it was just great. So Dustin, our manager, if you want to kind of talk on that, it's your baby. So I'll let you talk on that one.
Yeah, I'll just give a little blurb here, I just wanted to bring in some passionate and energetic musicians to pair with some extremely talented tattoo artists, most of which are local. We did have like a shot from Nashville. One of our musicians was from Nashville as well. So we just had some energetic and passionate musicians who play their hearts out on stage, and some very talented artists. And it was also a great networking opportunity for a lot of bands or artists or whoever was there, because I mean, I being the manager, but also the person who coordinated the event, I was able to talk to a lot of the bands and just get information. One of our openers, he's a pianist, but he's also in a hard rock band, and he's from New York, so we can eventually, hopefully, open for that guy. Or David Michael Frank's manager was there. I was able to talk to her. She also manages a separate band in New Jersey, which is way closer than Nashville, so maybe we could work with that band. So there's a lot of different avenues we can work with. Um, and just stuff like that. So it was a good opportunity for everybody. And then, people just came to listen to some good music and have a good time, drink, get tattoos, and just enjoy themselves. And it went well. All the bands played awesome, and everybody enjoyed their time. And that's all it was about.
That's what better combination? Bands, get a tattoo, you know.
Oh yeah.
Almost as nice as when these ladies go to the spa and they're getting their feet done and they got the cucumbers on their eyes and they can listen to a waterfall. But with this, you're getting a tattoo and you have bands playing. And as long as the mosh pit's not too close to the tattoo artist and he doesn't bump his arm and end up making a mess of the whole thing, amen. Amen. More
Mhm.
power to you. And let's have more, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I want some more. I got a sick ass ghost tattoo
Oh,
while I was
nice.
there, and the tattoo studio from there was from Nashville, right?
Yeah.
It was just
Mhm.
really cool. I was like, damn, I'm like never gonna have an opportunity to get tattooed by you again. This is really cool.
Yeah, the tattoos, I have to say, over the past 30, 35 years, have been this phenomenon that has just grown in popularity like crazy. I mean, I can remember really, when I was growing up, if you had a tattoo, you were somebody's grandfather who was in World War II, and it was usually a Marine bulldog or an anchor on your arm. And they were all faded, or it was all, sometimes it was like a topless hula girl or a mermaid, but that was really it. And you never saw the detail like you're seeing nowadays, too. That's what tattoos were back in
Yeah,
those
no, it's
days.
a
But
beautiful art form.
yeah,
I think it's one of the only things you can spend money on and have forever.
yeah, and it's definitely come a long way too, and across different walks of life and everything. I mean, years ago, I mean, when this was still before this was really mainstream, you'd see a woman with a tattoo, you'd look to see if she had teeth, because it was just it was just one of those things that kind of went hand in hand. But you see people that are all over all walks of life nowadays,
Yeah,
rich, poor, what have you, all are really getting into this here. And again, the quality of tattoo, what you're putting on your arm and everything, if you have, I still haven't done it yet, and I don't think I will at this point, but it really seems like, it's just getting better and better and better, and so that's great. You're able to have that kind of a festival and get a chance to showcase their talent as well as the music. That's just that's a great thing and good thinking right there. And rock and roll and tattoos really kind of go hand in hand.
Oh yeah, it was an unforgettable experience to be up on that stage,
Hmm.
just sharing the stage with a bunch of amazing musicians, but also thinking about the history and how many other just legends have played there is just nuts.
It really is. And that really did have to be a thrill because a lot of great bands have performed at Ram's Head over the years,
Mm.
just like years ago, Hammerjacks.
Yeah, we
Um,
we know about Hammerjacks.
yep. Years ago too. I mean, I had the opportunity back when I was playing to perform at CBGB's in New York. And that was, I mean, you walk onto a stage like that, and you just think in your mind, and I don't know if you agree or not, you think in your mind all the other people that have stood right where I'm standing and played,
Yeah,
you know?
that's why I said I was in the when I went in the bathroom, I was like, damn, I got the least famous ass to ever take a shit right here.
Mhm.
Hey, well said, you know? I don't know if you ever heard about CBGB's bathroom, but if you ever went in there to do your business, you're really better off finding somewhere down the street to go because they did a movie about that club. Alan Rickman played the owner,
Mm.
and it said something like 30,000 bands, one disgusting bathroom because they never washed that bathroom. They never cleaned it. And if you dropped your keys on the floor or something in there, you may as well just burn your keys because it was just, it was horrible. But it
Flavorful.
really is it really is an accomplishment to get a chance to play a club like that, somewhere where people had, a lot of people before, you were in the same space as legends.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
there was a whiteboard backstage in the green room,
mhm.
and there was so much like cool bands. We wrote our band name right underneath Guar.
Hey,
I was like, holy shit, we're right underneath Guar. This is the coolest thing ever.
that's good. That's awesome. Guar used to play around here a lot back when I was playing too. They used to play the
Yeah,
Rage
they were
quite a
just. I
bit.
saw them a couple months ago at Soundstage. Got all covered in goo. It was awesome.
Those shows are an experience too. And back in those days too, they used to do a show. They would play acoustic, and they would call it RAWG, RAWG. Backwards, they used to do acoustic shows too, which were pretty cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. Did so you did Ram's Head, the Carroll County Fair. Also heard about the 8x10 that's going to
Yes.
be coming up, right?
Yeah, the 8x10 is an emo night. We've got a couple other really good local bands. Shuttlecraft, we're big fans of. All You Need, Here Goes Nothing. It's a really stacked lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And similar to Ramshead, it's just a really legendary space. And I'm so excited to play there. Oh my
Baltimore's
God.
finest.
Yeah.
Baltimore's finest, the Purple Palace.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can just think back over the years because that place was around when I was playing too, and a lot of the bands that have played there. I think I remember Real Big Fish playing there back in those days
Oh,
too,
Yes.
and a lot of others too. Just so many to name.
Gotta bring
They've been
Smoke.
doing things on Facebook by taking. There were a lot of people that saved their Rocks magazines and Maryland Musician from years ago, and they've been taking pictures and posting the calendars that some of these clubs, the ads had. And they've been posting those, and it's just like a trip down memory lane because it's like I can see there. I remember playing that show. I remember playing that show, and I'm sure the 8x10. I haven't seen anybody post one of theirs, but I'm sure you could probably get a heck of a lot of history off of looking at that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Hmm. Yep, they weren't really in rocks that much though. Rocks magazine was more of a metal and punk rock magazine. They were more. I think they used to advertise more in either Maryland Musician or the City Paper, if you remember that.
Yeah. Like I said, I live really close by to the 8x10, and
Hmm.
a lot of the shows I go to there is a lot of like psych rock and like funk and stuff. It's so much cool music.
Yep, yep. Oh, I think the Smithereens played there too. I remember that. I think so. Could be mistaken, but I really, in my mind, think I remember the Smithereens playing there too. You know. So, and then the Depot is another one you have.
Yeah, this is yeah, we're playing there. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we had played the Metro Gallery back in May, thanks to our manager Dustin. He got us a gig to be direct support for TX2.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big name in the social media world, and now he's touring with Falling in Reverse, was Ice Nine Kills, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Big, great guy. And there was a guy there that opened up. His name was Dre Thompson. And after that show, he came up to us and he was talking to us. He's super nice, and he wanted to get us on this show, to like a variety show with a bunch of like different genres, different styles,
Mm-hmm.
rap, hip hop, alternative, pop punk, stuff like that. So it's like 15 to 20 minutes for each set, and he wanted us to be a part of it. And it was fantastic. He, like I said, he was a great guy to talk to, great to work with, and we're excited for that show as well.
Excellent, excellent. So it sounds like you got a lot of great things coming up, as well as you've been on a good streak lately, and sounds like Dustin's earning his keep there, huh?
Yeah, Dustin's been I like to call it the summer of WAN.
Yeah.
Because the summer of weekends at noon is too long. So the
Right,
summer of
right, right.
WAN, and it wouldn't have been possible without Dustin. He's been fantastic, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have asked for anything better out of him, and he's just a fun guy to be around too.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you on your
Yeah.
Thanks,
toes.
Jamie.
Yep.
He's just a friend.
We're all family here.
Yeah,
So.
Mm-hmm.
it's we all love each other. Like we're all family, and it's the best way to treat it. Can't sit here and pretend like it's a business. Butt heads, you butt heads. It's family. You make up
Mm-hmm.
and keep going.
Right, right. Well, that's the thing, that's a really healthy attitude, because the thing is, it's like a lot of times, and I don't know if agree with this or have experienced this. Yeah, I did a an episode where I just a couple of recordings from not actually 97 Underground had surfaced of when my band was on there being interviewed, and so what I did is I did an episode where I just played the interview and I talked about my time in that band, because that was probably the biggest thing I'd ever done in music. And the thing is that looking back, and I kind of said this, that we were young. I think we were all between the ages of 19 and 23. Okay. And there were times when we made decisions that were rash. There were times when we just didn't think things through, where we should have been more patient, where we all could have treated each other a little bit better, and having a level-headed approach, and just thinking things out, not jumping the gun, not jumping to conclusions, is really the best way to go. And that's probably the role that you're going to have to play, Dustin, being the referee a lot of
The
times with band
mediator.
members, and you know.
Yeah, Dustin, being here, kind of taking that stress off of us, because
Hmm.
we all have full time jobs. It's not like we're doing this for a living yet, which
Hmm.
hopefully we get there. Um, but
That's
being,
difficult.
working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and
Hmm.
two of us work outside, so we're both beat by the time we get home.
Hmm.
Colin's a foreman at his company, and he's
Hmm.
working two jobs. We're all busy.
Oh yeah.
When we play these shows, we give it our all, but we're also like trying to. We needed someone to help us and really be the. I want to say the backbone on keeping this band going,
Hmm.
and not just us playing in my shed in my backyard.
Yeah,
Just getting us out there, trying to network us to different places with different bands, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we've only played the same venue twice once.
Right.
And because Dustin is getting us out there to different spots, we're not just going to be a bar band that we're playing at the same bar every weekend for 3 hours, which if people want to do that, that's their thing. That's just not us. We are, I don't consider us a jam band. but we do have fun jamming, you know.
Hmm.
But Dustin being here and really carrying us to these shows and being the guy to get these set up has really helped us out, and it's been fantastic.
He's great at
Well,
what he
excellent.
does.
Hey, and I think the another thing too is the fact that you are, I get to put it this way, you're in the band, you're part of the band and everything, but you're not somebody's girlfriend. Okay, because I've seen those go south a lot. Okay, and I hate to say it that way. Nothing against women. My manager is a woman. Okay, my agent is a woman. Does a great job. I'm well taken care of. But the thing is that we're professional colleagues. Okay, she's not my girlfriend. And then because the thing is like I've seen it a lot of times. Once you get girlfriends involved in managing the band, yeah, doesn't end well.
Yeah. They say two things split bands apart, and it's drugs and women.
Hmm.
But we love them.
Yep. I've seen that quite a bit. Like I said, always an issue with that kind of that's the kind of thing. So you really need somebody to come in to do that who's impartial, who's kind of not biased, impartial, sees the thing neutrally, sees it objectively, it makes the right decisions for you,
Yeah, for sure.
and transparency as well.
And if
you
our
know
shit sucks, it's important to let us know.
Yep, exactly. Well, good. Well, I'm glad this has been working out well for you. Like I said, it sounds like he's batting 1,000 for you so far.
Absolutely.
Getting great shows and just helping you work your way up. So he was very professional with me, by the way, when we were setting this whole thing up too.
I don't have enough nice to say about Dustin. I can
Yep,
praise him all day.
yep, absolutely. So he gets a good report card from all of us here. So
I think it's all
kudos.
A's. I think it's all A's around the board.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Thank you.
yep. So what so you've been together for about 2 years now. So what was your inspiration what were the inspirations that all of you had? Influences, inspirations, things that made you want to get into this crazy stuff.
Ugh. So my whole life has been music.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us, our whole lives have been music. I've been playing drums since I was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, both my brothers played. My dad played. His friends played. His best friend actually is the one that taught me how to play drums.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was my whole life surrounded by music. Everyone that I knew, I couldn't escape it. So I went from Apple Jacks to Hammer Jacks. That's how much I've grown up with it. So um, sorry, that was my dad's laughing in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke from my childhood. But my inspirations being, like my brother who I've talked about on here, all the people that I was surrounded with, and then of course these guys, these three guys that I got here, they have been. There's been times where I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with music, and thankful for them to push us and because it's a group effort. It's not just me that's inspired. It's all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and just growing up with it, and then finding the perfect guys to play the perfect music with. It's just been a dream. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yep. How about you?
Yeah, I grew up playing music as well. My mom was a professional musician. I went to school for it. I did production. I did recording. Um, but honestly, now people I'm most inspired by is these guys right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like they keep me going. I love bouncing ideas off them. Or they're just all so musically talented and I'm just in awe of what we're able to do together.
Well, that's awesome. That's really great. I mean, chemistry is a very important thing, and just having just the right mix of people, just the right you know group of guys in there is very very important to have.
Yeah. No, we're all best friends. Seriously.
Mhm. That's great. Well, that's definitely good. So I know that you've been in now. You said your father had played in some bands. Is he? Who was he? Were they from around here?
So my dad didn't play in a band. He kind of played around for a little bit. His best friend actually played in a band. He's in a band currently. Um, the one band he was in was called Teaser. They
Oh
were
yeah,
they were local. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I think I have. Yeah, I think I remember them.
So they played for a long time, and then they ended up splitting up. He's still friends with all the guys. They just
Hmm.
went their own separate ways. And then now his band Love in Vain, they're like they just do some covers. They release music.
They
They're
were
like
just
a
at Morrisburgers, weren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they were just the. I thought I saw that they just played with the the Black Leg Miner CD release party.
They might have. I know they just played a show in like Washington County.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So they play a lot of shows. They're getting around and they're fantastic.
I gotta go
Hmm.
see them.
Yeah. Um but
Yeah,
yeah, so
we
that
played at Morrisburgers a couple months ago, and
yeah,
that
back
place
in
is
June.
awesome.
Yeah, Morrisburgers was great.
I
That's we
really
actually
loved it.
got interviewed there with
Yeah, yeah,
97
we
Underground.
talked to Tom Parks
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. I'd heard that. That's why Tom asked me to interview you. That's
Yeah,
because
that
he
was
spoke to you there and he liked you. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm glad that we're making a good impression all around the
Hmm.
97 Underground
Yeah, yeah.
warehouse
Hmm.
community.
Yep. And the thing is, 97 has always been a big, big supporter of local music. And one thing that they've always done, and not to toot our horn, but whenever 97 Underground played a local band, now as long as their tape was good, you know, you can't. Well, years ago, before we had all this recorded home stuff, a lot of times people would just put a boom box in their recording in their practice hall and just hit record, and that was crap. I mean, it was good to listen to for ideas, but you're not going to play that on the radio, but as long as the tape was good and it would get played, but it wouldn't. A lot of stations had, like, on a Sunday night, a show where it was locals hour, local licks or something like that, noise in the basement, and that was the time the local bands got played, minus maybe a couple of them, but for the most part, but 97 Underground would throw you right into the rotation. You could have Guns N' Roses, Metallica, you
Yeah,
know,
no, it's
um,
we've had a couple songs on there, and it's always super special.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, we damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I know what I was saying. So I love um local music specifically. I just love tiny um bands
Hmm.
because a lot of the time with local smaller artists, we're doing it because we love this.
Hmm.
Like we're not doing this for money. We don't make any money. This is
Yeah,
just a giant money pit.
it
But
is. It's
we
definitely
love
not
it.
easy.
There's nothing more fulfilling and special, and I know that's the case for so many other artists. And it's
Hmm.
just yeah, that's what I love about the small scene.
It is. It is. And I think it's a scene that's definitely going to grow because it really seems like the pendulum is starting to swing back towards bands that are doing more original material. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like that. The pendulum's gone back and forth, over the years, but um, it's when the clubs support it, and then when the people are coming out to see it and they really get behind the bands. I mean, over the years, a lot of things have kind of taken away from that. Things like karaoke,
yeah.
just DJs, or these clubs where you go in and there's some guy up on stage with a laptop. And don't get me started, but um, you know, a lot of there have been a lot of obstacles and challenges and everything too. But I think one of the things too that has really kind of remained constant has been the outdoor venues too. The festivals where they and there was one, oh gosh, I can't remember what it was called. I think it was back in June, where it was like, God, it was, I think, 24 acts or something like that. It was a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, festivals are so much fun. I love being on
Hmm.
bills with other bands. being able to make friends that way and just enjoy other people's art as well.
Yeah, networking is so key, such a key thing, and it's really important too that you support each other. You know, years ago, whenever somebody had the opportunity to play New York, the show that they would play before they went was always huge. People would turn out. It was almost like a bon voyage party. You're probably too young to remember those, but when your grandparents used to go to Hawaii or to anywhere the night before, a couple nights before they left, everybody would throw them a bon voyage party to give them a few bucks to take on vacation with them and just have a party, an excuse to have a party, really. So
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of times too, there were some bands would charter buses to go up there with all their friends. Other bands would just have car caravans going up to New York City. And our band, what we did is we rented a rider truck that had a little door between the cab and the back, and we would put a couple of couches back there, put all of our gear back there, and have about 20 of our friends go up with us. Now, by the grace of God, nobody died from carbon monoxide poisoning while we were doing that, but that's how we did it. And there was support of each. It was like a big Friars Club atmosphere back in those
Yeah,
days.
no, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been awesome if, the carbon monoxide, but other than that, it did turn out well. Yeah. Yep. So you've been releasing your songs. Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier. You've got about 6 of them that have been released at this point. You've got a few more that are almost there. And you've been releasing 3-song EPs lately, huh?
Yeah. Our newest EP, Newport Solitude, we dropped it on in April this year,
Hmm.
and those were 3 songs that I had written myself a couple years ago before I even was a part of this band,
Hmm.
and they were completely different. But they were songs that I loved and that I was proud of,
Hmm.
and I brought them to Weekends at Noon, and we completely transformed them and turned them into something truly special.
Awesome.
And that was a really fulfilling process too, to be able to like reinterpret older
Hmm.
ideas. And but yeah, we're full steam ahead, um write new songs. Like, our focus is always on writing new stuff and playing shows and just having a good time.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing right there. The name of the game.
Oh yeah.
Having a good time and making sure again that you are again you don't want it to get to be work.
Mm-mm. Never. This is what's in our soul, you know.
Yeah. Right.
This
Right.
sounds corny.
Right. So releasing it, and I think that's a really good approach. A lot of acts that I've spoken to have really kind of taken that approach. You're releasing just a little bit at a time, one or maybe two at a time.
Yeah.
um I think instead of putting all the time and effort into a full album, keeps people's attention. It keeps them waiting for the next one when you release just maybe one at a time and get it out there.
Yeah, nowadays a lot of people don't even really listen to albums,
That's another thing too. Yeah, I was
It's
just
more
getting ready to
about
say that, but you're right.
it's why it's more like playlisting and singles and viral tracks,
Hmm.
and that stuff's all cool, but I myself, when I listen to music, I really love a good album
Yeah,
front
me
to
too.
back.
Me too. Do you, when you release your material, do you actually make hard copies of the CDs and sell them, or do you just strictly do it online?
Not yet. Um, my guitar player actually has a pressed vinyl record of our first EP, and it's the coolest thing ever.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
we
great. Vinyl too. When I was playing, vinyl was starting to go out and it was all cassettes and CDs, but
yeah.
that's awesome. A vinyl.
I love vinyl. I'm a big collector. I love the idea that you're physically holding a song. You're holding,
Yeah.
like, it's the actual, like, sound waves. Like, it's not digital. It's not like Oh, it's so beautiful.
It really is. It really is, and that's something that I really agree with that strongly. I just remember years ago when it was either an album or an 8 track or a cassette. They had cassette too,
Hmm.
but um, you have the album a lot of times. Not all of them, but a lot of them would open up if it was a double album or a live album or something. Some of them just opened up anyway, and you would have you know liner notes on the inside that you could read, look at pictures, read lyrics. They were on the sleeve of the album a lot of times, and it was an experience. You could sit there and listen to the album. You could have your headphones on. You're on the couch, and you're just really getting into this whole experience. And the art
Yeah,
and the liner notes and everything was really. I mean, do you agree that's really a good part of the?
absolutely. When you put a record on, like that's the activity.
Mhm,
It's not like it's the background or the soundtrack to whatever you're
mhm,
doing. Like you put on a record, that's what you're doing,
mhm.
and that's just really cool to do. I mean, I love sitting down and just listening to an album that I love and digging a little deeper into it. And yeah, no, it's beautiful. I would love to have more records of our own stuff just because it's so cool.
Mhm. It,
Just
it
to
it
have for
really
us,
is. It's and the other thing too, it's like, I'm all for sound quality and that sort of thing too, but there was always something to be said about the hisses and the skips and the pops and everything when you're listening to a record as
Yeah,
well.
that's part of it.
Hmm.
That's why I say like when we're playing live shows too, because we're big on like every sound that you hear we're doing on stage. It's all
Hmm.
live.
No back.
So whenever whenever something gets messed up or we hit a wrong note or whatever, like that's all part of it, man.
Hmm.
A lot of the time, like, because being the drummer, like, I feel like that's one of the biggest things. Like, if I drop a stick, it's like, oh, I gotta, I'm like hustling back there to find a stick. And then, I'm like, after the show, I'm talking to them, talking to people in the crowd. I'm like, yeah, like, I dropped a stick and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I had no idea. So it's stuff that, like, people in the crowd will hear versus you hear. Half the time, if you mess up, the only person that's going to notice is you.
That's very true playing music. It's also very true in theater too.
Yes.
Sometimes if you blow a line or if you forget to say something, the people in the crowd don't know.
Artists are always their own worst critics.
I know. That's the truth, isn't it? It really is. But yeah, that's the thing. You just got to roll with it. You just got to roll with it. Keep on moving and don't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
Yep.
And so who recorded and you actually went to you did this in a studio, your recordings?
Yeah, so our guy Toby at Bloomhouse Audio, he bought a plot of land, had a house built there, and there was a giant garage that he ended up turning into a studio. Like he, I guess, gutted it and just absolutely made it's absolutely beautiful in there. I mean, he's got everything, and he's got an insane toilet. I know that's weird, but it's like a compost because it's called Bloomhouse because his wife does like gardening and like
Mm-hmm.
plants flowers. So the toilet when you flush it, there's a pipe that runs out into the back, and it's like it plants flowers. Like
Yeah, it feels like using a litter box.
yeah,
You spit it
like
Hmm.
you are a flower back there. It's the one of the first times we went. It was the first time we went there. I thought he was going to explode. Like his head was like,
Yeah,
and it was the most crazy thing we had ever experienced in our entire lives.
that's
But yes,
one of my favorite pictures of us. Like we're all just crowded in the bathroom, and I'm just sitting on the toilet, posted up, and
we have a very good time at Bloomhouse. Thank you, Toby, for letting us use your toilet and record our music and just being a great guy.
Sounds like it. Sounds
He's
like it. Well, good, good. And so where is the studio?
oh,
Parkton.
somewhere up north of 83.
Oh, okay. Well, Hereford area, maybe.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little
it's a
bit,
little
Moncton.
yeah,
past
I'll
there
say it's
for
probably like 10, 15 minutes past that.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So closer up, like around Parkton, around the state line,
Yeah,
I guess.
yep.
Okay.
very secluded. No background noise.
No, just us.
You
And
know, you can't go wrong with something like that.
no,
You really can't.
no.
That's great. So it sounds like you got a great facility and a great guy to win. Good chemistry with them too, I guess, huh?
Oh yeah. Like I said, my brother recorded with one of our favorite local bands, Redacted,
Hmm.
actually records with him too.
Hmm.
So he's got a lot of people lined up. He's got his own band. We were going to go record our new single,
Hmm.
but he had his studio booked out for his band throughout the month of July.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fair. That's okay.
Hmm.
Thanks, Toby. But
Yeah.
no, like I said, he's a great guy. He's got a great equipment. And he's just nice to work with. He gets with you. He's great at communicating. Like a lot of people you'll go record, and you won't hear anything for a month.
Right,
With
right, right,
Toby,
right.
with Toby, he mixes and masters
Hmm.
for us. So by the time we get done recording, was it take like a week,
Hmm.
maybe a week and a half to get our first mix? He'll send us the raw recordings the day of, and then
Sure.
he'll get us our first mix. And I think it takes maybe I think the most it's taken for a 3-song EP was a month to get it all mixed and mastered and ready to go and released from him.
Hey, that's
And
great.
it's fantastic.
And I'm a
That's
picky
great.
bastard with the mixes too, and he fulfills everything. Amazing.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So we've reached the part of the show where we like to do our shameless plugs. And this means that you can shamelessly plug yourself as shameless as you would like to do it, with all shamelessness included and no shamelessness spared. So have at it, guys.
All right, so our next big show that we're super excited for, we got at the 8x10 in Federal Hill.
Hmm.
It is August 30th at 7 o'clock off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's gonna be such a fun time. It's gonna be us. We got Here Goes Nothing, All You Need, Shuttlecraft. Such a stacked lineup, and we're playing at the Depot on the 18th, and
We got Frankenfest
yeah,
October
Frankenfest up in
13th.
October.
We got Zen West on September 20th.
Yeah,
We're
but
playing we're playing Angels Rock Bar in November. So
Hmm.
that's going to be a good show.
Yeah, I heard that's a new place. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah,
yeah, I've walked through. It's really cool.
it's
Oh,
right next
great.
to Ram's Head
Oh, sure. Okay.
in the power plant area. You
Hmm.
go up the steps. It's Angels Rock Bar.
Oh, great. Great. Well, excellent.
Yeah, but we're most active on Instagram. We like to connect and talk with people there, and
At Weekends at Noon
Hmm.
on Instagram. You can find our anywhere you listen to music. Weekends at Noon, you'll find us. Probably be a picture of him on the toilet with us.
yeah.
That's
Find me on the toilet
yeah,
at Toby's.
find Colin on the toilet if you want to listen to our music.
Mm, great.
Really putting the shitty and support shitty local music.
Yeah.
That's
Now, how about you can find you on Facebook and Instagram and
Mhm.
I, on the streaming platforms, or I guess wherever you buy digital music, you can find you there too.
Yeah, if you go to our Instagram or Facebook, we have a link tree in our bio that has ticket links for our shows. If you
Great.
don't get a physical ticket from us, we got ticket links, we got music links, we got our link to our YouTube, which is
Hmm.
still it's weekends at noon. We have a music video on there for our song "Fake" that was recorded by Andy's brother. It turned out really good. We actually recorded it in our shed that we practice in.
Uh-huh.
And we got a couple live sessions on there, so there feel free to check that out if you get a
Okay.
chance. I actually posted our first '97 Underground interview on there with Tom
Oh,
when we
great.
did that at Morseburger, so that whole interview's on there. Yeah,
The
yep.
Phantom. Yep.
Yeah, my girlfriend actually she was at home before the show started and she screen recorded the whole thing and sent it to
Great.
me. So that was great on her. She's great. She's a big fan. I think but yeah, go to our Instagram or our Facebook. There's a link tree with all that stuff. It'll
Mhm.
take you to wherever you need to go. Twitter. I mean, we don't really post on Twitter much,
Mhm.
but we post on Instagram and Facebook mostly. Yeah.
And it seems like whenever you post something on Twitter, you always get yelled at, no matter what it is.
That's why. Yeah, it's because it's formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah,
Blah blah
whatever. Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't. We've been having a good on Instagram and Facebook because
Yeah, yeah.
they're both connected. So when you post something on Instagram, they go straight to Facebook. So it's like
Right,
killing
right.
two birds with one stone. Yeah, it's nice, but
Yep.
posting and getting ourselves out there and just it's been great. Everyone loves what we post, our pictures and videos and flyers. Somehow, but yeah.
Well, excellent, excellent. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having you and everything. And the door's always open. Come back anytime you have good news. Anytime you want to share something, anytime you want to promote something, the door is always open. You're welcome to the
Absolutely, Michael.
family.
This
Huh?
was so much fun. Thank you for everything.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. And folks, you now you know where you can find them, you can hear them, and you can see them. Weekends at noon, folks. All there, and we'll put all of their links and their link tree and everything in the show notes. So you'll be able to go there and find them and everything. So, guys, thanks again for joining us today on Foul Players Radio. And we will see everybody next time. Thank you for
Awesome.
listening.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
And folks, thanks again for tuning in to Weekends at Noon, a great group of guys. I really enjoyed talking to them, listening to their stories. They've been playing some great shows lately and some great venues, and there's just more coming up. They've also released some great music with more of that coming up too. So stick around and keep your ears and eyes open for Weekends at Noon. Their link tree is in the show notes. Thank you again for tuning in, and we really support you. We really appreciate you supporting the show. Our website is foulplayersradio.com. Our YouTube is youtube.com/@foulplayersradio. And also remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and you can get all of our updates, and you'll know exactly when a new episode is out. We really appreciate your support. Remember to support our guests in their endeavors too. Buying their stuff makes for great experiences for you. It helps them out, and it also makes great gifts. Remember that with the holiday season, hey, people are saying right now, it's August already. Oh my God. Well, hey, it's going to be Christmas before you know it too, and the gift giving season. So remember our artists and guests at that time. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Enjoy the episode. This is Michael Spedden signing off.